there's three camps here, and I wonder which one you're in. There's the pro-America, pro-democracy, pro-Israel, pro-NATO, hey, I'm with you. And there's MAGA in there, there's level-headed Democrats, moderates, they're all there. The second camp, which I have friends with as well, they're isolationist, America first, don't get involved in any foreign entanglements, foreign wars. I understand that narrative if you want to live as an ostrich in America. Then the third camp, which I'm wondering is chanting death to America, death to England, death to Israel. So I know which camp I'm in. I'm in the first camp. Which camp are you in? The isolationist camp or the hate America, hate Israel camp? Which camp are you in?
In this video, Anna Kasparian stands completely alone against an entire panel and refuses to back down. What you're about to watch isn't just a disagreement. It's a full-blown clash of worldviews. One side says America must stand strong globally, confront threats, and trust leadership instincts. The other side says we've seen this movie before, and it didn't end well. And Anna, she doesn't hesitate. When Adam tries to divide the room into three camps, he frames it as a simple choice. You're either pro-America and aligned with global alliances, or you're isolationist, or you're aligned with America's enemies. But Anna rejects that framing instantly. She plants her flag in a completely different position, questioning foreign policy narratives and refusing to accept that skepticism equals disloyalty. And that's when the temperature in the room skyrockets.
In the camp of don't allow the Israeli government to lie to the American people and goad us into another war on their behalf. I'm in that camp.
So you're basically saying, Trump, listen to yourself, not anybody else.
What I don't. How about learn from recent history in which
you know whose instincts I trust more than your, you know instincts I trust? I trust Trump's instincts at this point.
Conversation that happened in the lead up to the 2003 invasion of Iraq. But this is the exact same type of conversation that took place.
And anyone was letting inspectors in. Iran was not. Saddam was not offered a deal. Iran was. Saddam's group was not ideologically captured, and their mission was not death to America. And we all know that it wasn't just Netanyahu. It was all the neocons like Cheney and his whole company.
Yeah, those people are involved.
Let's not just lay this at the feet of Israel. It's all
It is at the feet of Israel, though, Jillian.
Well,
it is at the feet of Israel.
Your blind hatred to Israel doesn't let you at least acknowledge the truth that she just told you, and you just shut down Jillian when she tried to feed you the truth.
Adam, you have no argument. You have no argument, Adam.
Just because you say I have
your only argument is
doesn't mean you
hate Israel. You hate Israel. That's not an argument. I don't give a damn about Israel. I give a damn about my own country. I don't give a damn about Iran. I don't care about Israel. I don't care about the United States of fucking America.
Really?
That's my country. And I'm sick of fighting wars on behalf of Israel.
This debate becomes explosive because it's not just about foreign policy, it's about trust. Trust in leadership, trust in intelligence, trust in past decisions. Anna brings up history. She suggests that Americans have been led into conflicts before under questionable premises. The panel pushes back hard. They argue current threats are real, urgent, and different. And here's where it gets intense. Instead of debating just policy, the conversation shifts to motive. Accusations fly. Words like hatred and blindness get thrown around. The discussion becomes personal, but Anna doesn't retreat. She doubles down on one central argument. Her loyalty is to American taxpayers and American interests, not to foreign governments, not to political narratives, and not to emotional pressure tactics. When she says, I care about my country, that's the turning point. Because now the debate isn't about being pro or anti anyone, it's about what America's role in the world should actually be.
People talk other than Adam.
So when 9/11 happened, you're saying that they fought that on behalf of Israel?
Yes, I am saying that.
Okay, so you're blindly retarded.
No, I'm not blindly retarded.
Congratulations.
I mean, there was a
mental gymnastics you must do to be able to validate Iran's existence is really impressive to me.
I think it's just you're being reductive, though. Like, they have put out 8 articles, at least, that I've seen since 1995 saying within 5 years they're going to have a nuclear weapon. Do we not going to pretend like political propaganda exists, conditioning exists?
Great point by Amy, but you got to go deeper, sweetheart. Why have they not done further? Because Israel somehow keeps killing the nuclear scientists. If you want a profession to not go into in Iran, it's nuclear science. Because the closer and closer you get to a fucking degree, you're going to be eliminated. So use that for your talking point. Because why does it take longer and longer and longer? Because they keep getting eliminated. That's why.
Wait, guys,
who did Israel go after first?
Go ahead.
Nuclear scientists and generals. They're all dead. Start over. There you go.
You bring up a really good point.
Thank you.
I just want to say, if Trump and Republicans didn't believe that Iran was a threat, why did they take away Mike Pompeo's Secret Service protection as an insult? Do you understand? They did that to basically, knife the guy in the front. That's point number two. Point number one. Point number two, Anna, I tried to say this earlier, but I wasn't able to. You said that Netanyahu controls Trump. Netanyahu couldn't even get Trump to visit him on his first foreign tour. He went to Saudi Arabia first. He couldn't. It was a huge insult to Israel because Bibi was fully expecting that.
The Israeli government has a massive amount of influence on our government. I didn't say Bibi controls Trump.
You did say that.
Okay,
though.
Maybe it's the other way around, that America has a massive control of influence on Israel.
I think
to
that
say that a little tiny country is dominating America would be lying to yourself or just completely uninformed.
You're
saying that Israel controls America. How about America controls Israel?
That's
Maybe
hilarious.
It's the other way around.
Why are we paying for Israel's bombs?
Just like
the country that had an economic surplus in 2001 was Israel. I'm sorry, 2021.
What do you mean? Why is Israel buying bombs from America?
No. They're not buying bombs with their money. We're paying for their bombs. Okay? And they had an economic surplus in 2021. In the middle of a pandemic, they had an economic surplus. We haven't had an economic surplus since 2001. Why are we paying for their bombs?
Then comes the money argument. Why are American resources being used overseas when domestic issues remain unresolved? Is foreign intervention strategic necessity or political habit? That question clearly unsettles the panel. Some argue alliances are essential for long-term security. Others argue that failing to act invites larger conflicts later. Anna challenges whether constant involvement actually makes America safer. And here's what makes this moment powerful. She's outnumbered. Multiple panelists push back. They cite military experts. They cite geopolitical risks. They argue that certain regimes have openly stated hostile intentions. Anna's response? Skepticism, not denial, not endorsement of adversaries, but skepticism about escalation, timing, and whether diplomacy is being given a real chance.
Maybe because it's useful for us to have an ally in the Middle East.
They're not an ally. They're barely.
Hold on a second.
According to the U.S. government, they're definitely an ally.
They use us as a tool to fight their wars. That's what they are.
Your blind hatred of Israel doesn't allow you to be reasonable.
I would almost argue the opposite to a certain extent, that they almost often do our dirty work in some cases.
Like what?
Like taking out the nuclear scientists in Iran.
There's no question that we wanted this.
Taking out the nuclear scientists in Iran is going to lead to a full-blown war. But our soldiers
are already at war, Anna.
Peace treaty as well, though. Like, how are we ever going to have diplomatic relations with? Do you think they're ever going to trust the American government, Trump, anyone ever again when they're in the middle of these negotiations?
There's no diplomatic relations with the psychopathic regime in Iran.
Hold on. I don't even know. Hold on.
What? I'm sorry.
They were in the middle of their peace talks.
Who was?
The treaty.
Iran and Trump. Yes.
Yeah,
they were not.
Yes, they were. They had their final talks coming on Sunday.
The video?
Yes, Sunday.
They are saying we're never going to do a deal with America.
That's not true. Coming on Sunday.
Amy, do yourself a favor.
Now you're just full of
succumb to her bullshit argument.
It's not just her. This is all over the
Trump
marketplace.
gave them 60 days. Okay.
Exactly.
Not only did they not negotiate, they were like, bah ha ha.
Exactly.
So much so that I could not believe.
And what day did they attack on?
This is bizarre.
They were meant to meet on
61.
Sunday. They were meant to meet on Sunday.
Hey, we have 60 days of a peace treaty.
They struck them before that.
Okay, ready? He just said, still want to do a deal.
Yep.
Okay, where is it? Where is that
Give them the chance to get to the talks to be able to discuss the deal. Instead of first allowing this attack to happen, denying it at first, and then coming back and saying, we actually were complicit.
The truth is definitely somewhere in the middle.
I'm not pro-Iran. I'm not pro-Israel.
Let me show you the truth.
I'm just talking about what people are saying in the marketplace. You guys are acting like it's wild and saying these insane things.
By the way,
plenty of people who agree with her who are on the right.
That also don't.
I know.
There are military historians that are not ideologically captured, that fundamentally disagree and do see them as an existential threat. And while they are MAGA, their concern is, if you kick this can in order to, yes, focus on America, what do you get in a very short period of time? And the reality is, Iran is telling you who they are. In the words of Maya Angelou, believe them. I don't want any of the stuff you're talking about. And if you are right, God help me, that will be awful. But
I am right, and it will be awful.
I don't know that you are. Everybody said this about Soleimani, and they were wrong.
At one point, the panel debates whether negotiations were still active before tensions escalated. That exchange reveals something important. Even among people who broadly support the same political movement, there is serious disagreement about foreign intervention. This isn't left versus right. It's intervention versus restraint, strength through force versus strength through diplomacy. And that's why this debate matters, because what you're watching is a fracture line inside American politics that rarely gets discussed openly. Should America act preemptively against potential threats, Or should it avoid involvement unless directly attacked? Is delaying confrontation dangerous? Or is rushing into conflict the bigger mistake? Anna argues history warns us to slow down. Her opponents argue history warns us not to, and neither side backs off. By the end, it's clear this wasn't about winning the room. It was about standing firm, love her or disagree with her. Anna did not bend under pressure. Now I want to ask you, do you think America should take a more aggressive stance against emerging global threats? Or should leaders prioritize diplomacy and avoid escalation whenever possible? Was Anna courageous for standing alone, or reckless for minimizing risk? Drop your thoughts in the comments, but keep it respectful. These are serious issues that affect real lives, and if you appreciate debates where people actually challenge each other instead of echoing the same talking points, make sure you like this video and subscribe. Because conversations like this, they're shaping the future of American foreign policy right now.